Hello, my friends. Welcome. Welcome to this beautiful spot where there's water and trees and great fresh air. So our time together will be about how to tend to the garden of ourselves. Inside yourself, you are the most important garden. It's up to you to plant things in there, to water them, and then to keep things that could overgrow your garden and keep them out. So I want you to think about, you find a little spot and it looks and feels like the perfect spot to make some kind of a garden, whether it be flowers or vegetables for you. You are that garden. And first you may have to tend to the land. You may have to ask the permission of the land and say, are you okay if I plant something here? I know that's something we're not typically taught. But everything is interactive and alive. And so we want to honor everything ourselves, but everything that we're using. And if you have permission for that spot, and you feel that inside yourself, because sometimes you can feel the land may say, no, I don't want something here. But remember, we're really tending to the garden of yourself. So I have a feeling it's not going to say no. Matter of fact, I think our own garden is saying, where have you been? I wanted you to tend to me. So we go inside of ourselves. And we go in and we start to dream and vision how we want ourselves to be, how we want life to be, how I want to feel every day when I wake up, and how I want to experience myself at the end of the day. And so that vision is so important because it gives us a drive, a motivation to move forward. And so have a little bit of a vision. Sometimes our vision is guided by what we no longer want, or we're tired of what we're experiencing, or we just want something new and exciting inside of ourselves. Maybe we're kind of bored of how we've been living our life so far, and we want to have a new experience. So first envision, and it's almost like you're planning your garden. And then next you have to take the action. Next you're going to start to till inside of you, turn over. What does that mean? You're going to find the things that maybe you might question or doubt or stop you, or you might not feel able to. I'm not sure if I can do that. All those kinds of questions that come up when we start something new, and that's pretty common. And sometimes we'll find our own patterns of belief systems. And those belief systems or patterns, and some of those patterns are sometimes patterns that can come from our culture, our family, the land, the continent we grew up on, is we have to start to pull those out, much like we would be turning over land if we were actually building a garden. So it's what we would call, we're pulling out the weeds or clearing the roots and the rocks to make some space, to plant seeds. Your vision that we talked about, your vision is the seeds. So you want to keep awareness of the seeds. In old times, in indigenous cultures, they used to sleep on the seeds to warm them before they went into the land, almost as though appreciating them. They were treated like babies and kept warm. So when you pay attention to your own vision, it's like you're sleeping on the seeds of your vision. You're giving it more life force, you're giving it more energy. And at the same time, you're still paying attention to some of those beliefs or patterns, and you gently are pulling them out. Weeds are not a bad thing, my friends. They're just something that you have to honor them and then pull them out. Sometimes we use weeds for other things, making some teas or tinctures. But that's a whole different time that we would be together. So for now, we're just going to pull out those patterns and beliefs. How do we do that? We become aware. We notice ourselves about what makes us feel heavy, what takes away the feeling that I could take action or I could actually build this garden inside myself, that I could build myself to the new vision I have for myself. So that's how you notice. For some people, they'll like to write those down. And sometimes when we write them, we could light a little fire, like with a tea candle, and burn those off. Sometimes we're sitting by beautiful water right now. We could be aware of it as though I'm pulling it off and I'm gently putting it down in the water, letting it wash off of me. I could even use the water if I notice that belief is in my head. I'm thinking as I use the water and I wash it off me. And just feel that freshness and a new opportunity. And sometimes you may be washing it off several times, and that's okay. Because remember, in a garden, we're going to have weeds that appear even if we've cleared it of everything, and now we've planted our seeds, our vision. We're going to have to water that garden. So we water our vision with our thoughts and our ideas. We let ourselves be a little bit like little kids. As we dream big, we try not to let our mind get in the way that tells us how it would be hard or impossible. We want those almost as though they're in the background. And then as we water the garden, the next day you may come out and there's a weed that started to grow. Sometimes we question, where did the weed come from? I've spent all this energy pulling the weeds. But you know, that's actually not so important, because ultimately you just want that out of the garden so the seeds have the freedom and the space to grow. Sometimes those weeds could have been dropped by a bird that was flying by. Maybe the wind blew them in. Sometimes we may think someone purposely put the weeds there. We may even feel ourselves put them there, almost like getting in our way. But as I said, I don't think it's so important to uncover where it comes from, not in the moment. It's just to pull it out and take it out so that you can allow that vision to grow. Now, this takes some effort on your part to grow a garden. You're going to water it every day. You're going to look at it and tend to it. You may even want to talk to it, because that's like giving it your love, your thought, your energy. You're giving your own seeds of your garden that may be the potential that you can become exactly what you've been dreaming. So I want to encourage you. First step, envision. What do you want different? Second, start to take the action to clear the weeds. 3, plant the seed. Start taking action toward what you really want. Every little step counts. 4, know that you're just going to have to water and pay attention, and you're going to have to weed so every often. So my friends, I want to invite you to go and start and have an amazing time envisioning and planting and growing. Till another time.